Hello, quick video. I want to talk a little bit about the MrBeast drama. Hey, quick interjection is me from the editing. It's actually 20 something minutes long. Yeah, I kind of lied, it's not quick. Sorry. I hope you will keep on watching. Because I think it's at the point where everything is falling into place. Maybe there's a few pieces that are missing, but it's not likely that anything major will surface, you know. I'm sure Jimmy is doing his best to either try to hide anything else that's left for us to discover, or he is actually working towards fixing things, or he's ignoring it, or there isn't any drama left, you know. But still, it's been quite eventful so far, I'd say. So, let's go. How did this drama start? Well, first of all, Jimmy was always surrounded by drama, right? The video giving people the ability to see, basically paying for quite a lot of surgeries for people with, I guess, sight issues, who are somewhat blind, you know, stuff like that. You get the point. You know, that video was okay, was a very nice thing that Jimmy did, but of course you're gonna have the people that hate watch him, that hate him just in general, and that will always, you know, be trolling, I guess, and always try to stir up drama. But in my opinion, where I think this MrBeast drama really started to get some traction is, you know, all the Chris Tyson stuff. The fact that he's a creep, he kind of groomed, kind of did not groom, you know, someone, but that subject is a little bit sensitive. But in my opinion, the worst thing that Jimmy could have done is keep him around while he was doing all that shady stuff, you know, from begging CP artists, okay, actually fantasy CP artists, to paint children in a very disturbed way, right? From enjoying it to now trying to transition to a woman, which will never happen if you ask me, again. A woman is a woman, vagina entities, and natural, might I point out. You can't just get that with a surgery, but that's just my opinion. So, when MrBeast has a channel that is so big and, let's be honest, is made up of, let's say, at the very least 70% children, okay? And you've got a guy like that there. Now, don't get me wrong, back in the day, being edgy was kind of an advantage, you know? Helped you in a way, maybe a very small way, to gain a little bit of traction with, I think, almost everyone, because while some people enjoyed watching edgy content, some did not enjoy it, but still kind of advertised it, you know, without them even knowing they were doing that. You know, complaining, hate watching, making videos, criticizing people being edgy. You get what I'm trying to say. So many kids, and you've got an individual who is interested, by the looks of it, in little children, but in a very disturbed and depraved way. And your, I guess, reason for not knowing, ignorance, really? He was your friend for such a long time. You both had, and still have, Twitter accounts, now X accounts, whatever. I'm sure he was following Chris. Can't you see all of the depraved tweets that he was, you know, putting out for us to see? Can't you see the stuff that he is interested in? His old videos? I mean, sure, if he is your friend, you can, I guess, disregard these little things, but again, your audience is mainly made up of kids. But I guess this is my opinion. Now, moving forward. There have been, and there still are, allegations, some that are false, some that are true, And where I'm going with this is basically I want to briefly mention Dogpack 404, and I have to say I feel a bit foolish and embarrassed by the fact that I actually believe that man. Sure, he had maybe one or maybe let's say a few things that he was right about and that were true, but the fact that he faked a lot of stuff, he actually was a disgruntled employee, you know, a sour employee that only worked there for about 2 weeks before he was fired, that was actively taking pot shots at the people that worked, I guess, towards the goal of firing him, which is very cowardly, you know. It's silly to me to actually go on the internet, make up a bunch of lies, throw about 2 or 3 things that were actually true here and there, and just call that the full truth, you know. That's not how it works, you know. Everything will at some point come to light, you know, and by God, it was so annoying to see him basically be so smug, so sure of himself, you know, in the podcast with Rosanna Pensino and himself. Yeah, of course, he was there. It was so annoying because he was being so smug, so sure of himself, even though I think he knew he was lying so much. I don't see any way out for him right now, you know. You lied so much, you appear to be so cocky, so smug, you know, you appear to be so sure of yourself, but things are not looking good for you. I'm sure some of you watched the Soggy video, right, where he annoyingly claimed that he was gonna debunk both Dawson and Jimmy, but in my opinion that video was more 80 to 20%, you know, 80% Dawson, 20% MrBeast, and the 20% worth of MrBeast drama was him talking trash about Launchley, which, I mean, at this point we all know it's trash. We all hate it just because it's let's say 1% or my God even 10% better than Lunchables does not make it a good product. They're still advertising to kids, you know, because if they were to make a food that was, let's say, targeted towards adults, that kids just don't enjoy it all that much, they wouldn't do that. That would not make them that much money, I'm sure of it. So he just criticizes Launchley a bit, he mentions Chris Tyson a bit, and at the end of the video, which, let me say, it's a 2 and I think 30 minutes or 20 minutes long video, which, my God, that was long, but a good video to watch, don't get me wrong. But when you say you're gonna debunk both of them and you make it seem like you're gonna do that equally, but you only mention just a little bit of the drama surrounding MrBeast, you know, with the one actual illegal lottery, you try and defend him somewhat. I understand, you know, we all make mistakes, but at that point Jimmy was not just a teenager anymore, you know. He should have had someone that knew how to navigate around laws, you know, knew the legal system to advise him and say, hey, this thing is not really all that legal. How about we rethink stuff? I mean, if at 19 he hired a convicted SA, which that was another dumb mistake, you know, at that point when the first illegal lottery took place, and I actually watched it, and again, I feel a bit foolish and embarrassed at the fact that I did not realize something was fishy, but oh well, I was just having that stream play on my other monitor, so I guess I didn't pay that much attention. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the end of the video, where you talk about MrBeast, but you actually don't talk about MrBeast, and you just send us to other creators, which is nice, because I think it's a good idea. If you don't know all the facts, you know, about some drama, it's best to, I guess, redirect the viewers towards someone else, but not in the context where you say, hey, I'm debunking both of them. No, that's not really all that enjoying for me to see and witness, Because when you say, oh, in this video, not only will I be debunking Jimmy, but also Mr. Dogpack 404, I instantly think, oh, okay, it's gonna be a contrast. You trample him, you trample the other. You clown on one guy, you clown on the other, you know? I think you're going back and forth when you say you're gonna debunk one guy and then also another one. Is it just me? And also that it did not help the fact that I first watched Mutahar, Some Ordinary Gamers, video regarding the Soggy serial video, and he also doubled down on saying, oh, I really like to see that Soggy serial debunk both parties, you know, which is so nice to see. So many people just look at one side and take it for granted, or don't listen to both parties equally. And my question to Mutahar would be, did you actually watch the video? You can clearly see that yes, he mentions some of the MrBeast drama, but my friend, in a 2 hour and 30 something, 20 something minutes long video, when you only mention Lunchley just to trash talk it, which is warranted, when you barely mention Chris Tyson, and you basically at the end of the video say, hey, I don't actually have anything to talk about MrBeast, so I'm just gonna send you to someone else. That to me does not scream, you know, I have debunked both individuals equally. Sure, you might have looked at both sides of the story, but then don't phrase it the way you phrased it at the start of the video. And Mutahar defending the fact that, oh yes, he's a good investigator, he looked at both sides. I'm sure he did, but in that video he really did not talk about it all that much. And it kind of makes me wonder, because at one point he said, if you're defending MrBeast, you're basically committing, I don't know, early financial forced retirement. I don't know, that kind of sounds weird. I guess I'm basically trying to navigate around the word suicide, because that's financial suicide, that's speedrunning, getting cancelled. And it is true, there is proof that when someone defends MrBeast with actual facts that are true, on certain social medias, Reddit for example, those posts magically get deleted, which is so scummy to see that people want to see him burn so bad, but for the wrong reason. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's innocent at all. He's actually very guilty, if you ask me, you know, in my opinion, allegedly, using all the words to try and not be held accountable in a legal way, because I don't want to get sued, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's 100% innocent. He's still guilty of a lot of stuff. But to try and burn him just because of fake allegations that are way more outrageous than the actual stuff that he did, don't get me wrong, again, the Chris Tyson stuff, that's depraved. I think he's ignoring that way too much, even though I'm pretty sure he knew about it. But again, moving forward. Next topic. That was so annoying from both Soggy and Mutahar, and that's not all with Soggy, you know. At one point he picks on Jake Weddle, which again, Jake Weddle is not that innocent and has made a few slip-ups that kind of prove the fact that he also wants to see MrBeast burn, but again, not for the correct reasons. But I guess, you know, I can give him a pass because he did go through a traumatic experience, and I will support the fact that, you know, when you have a company and you're making such elaborate videos, you really need to have some, I guess, psychiatrists or people who assess your, I guess, elaborate contestants to see if they would actually be able to survive in such conditions without ending up with, I don't know, mental trauma, physical trauma, you know, stuff like that. I stand by my words when I say this, you know. I really think MrBeast should do that and not just say, hey, we just did not know and we did not take into account the fact that people respond different to types of, I guess, stimulations, let's call it. And that's such a cop-out answer. It's like saying, hey, I was too lazy to actually research and see if people could actually survive, and if and if there's, you know, a certain type of individual that will melt away instantly in this challenge and actually get emotional trauma, physical trauma, I mean, he did nothing to try and avoid it, in my opinion, which annoys me, but again, this is nitpicking. So, what about Jake Weddle and Soggy? Well, Soggy makes a big deal about the fact that Jake Weddle did not inform the viewers that he was about to play a fake AI recording of two people talking, and I think it was Jimmy and someone else. But then Soggy shows us how to report Rosanna and Dogpack to the FBI, and right as he hovers the mouse over the submit button, he cuts away and then he says, "Oh, don't worry, I did not submit it. My friend, my boy, my comrade, that's the same thing that Jake Weddle did, you know? You did the same thing that you are criticizing him for." Oh no, the double standards are real, you know? Rules for thee, but not for me. Like, come on. Personally, I think she should remove that part of the video because it is irrelevant. If you really think about it and you employ a little bit of logic, if someone wants to take things out of context, no matter if you put a disclaimer at the start, in the middle, at the end of the clip that is fake or whatever, people will still take it out of context if they have that malicious intent to do so. So, you saying that, how no, you could spread misinformation, well, you showed a lot of people how to go to the website and report them. Why didn't you disclose that at the start of the video? As a matter of fact, why didn't you say that your trip to North Carolina was sponsored by someone who works at MrBeast? I know this is a little bit of a stretch, but now this is a conflict of interest. I'm not gonna talk about it, I don't want to stir up drama, but it is a little sassy, even though I'm pretty sure he did not accept hush money, let's call it, to basically ruin his career and his credibility. I mean, who would? Who's that dumb? Now, moving forward. At one point, I'm gonna say this very briefly, and I'm gonna mention this very briefly because, again, this is a little annoying to see Soggy criticize Dawson for some things, but he does kind of the same thing and does not take accountability for it in a certain way, I guess. What I'm talking about? Well, at some point in the video, he talks about all of the people that make videos just milking the situation regarding Jimmy and all of the drama, right? And in one iteration of that video, by which I mean Soggy's video, he showcases the YouTube page and the videos from More Pegasus. Well, when I watched the video from Soggy, that was no longer there. It was edited in a different way. I guess he googled MrBeast drama and just scrolled to the results. That's what you're gonna see in the video, I think. I did not rewatch it. But at some point, he basically showcased, I guess, more Pegasuses, or actually Pegasus's, More Pegasus's YouTube page, because he was making a lot of Logan Paul, KSI, and MrBeast drama videos, which are actually good. And he said, videos like this don't bring anything to the table, they're just cash grabs, you know? He said something like that. Now, More Pegasus and some of his audience were quite quick to react and told Soggy, "Ayo, did you actually watch the videos to see that I bring a lot to the table, actually? So you're wrong, remove that from the video." Well, Soggy did not remove it for the first time, he actually just blurred it, because that would ruin the flow of the video. If you ask me, the nitpicking with Jake Weddle and him reporting to the FBI but not disclosing, that kind of disrupts the whole video, disrupts the whole flow, but you can't remove you just showing a YouTube page and then you change it to just scroll to some YouTube videos that are MrBeast related. Okay, that's very petty in my opinion. This whole thing is so annoying, but oh well. And it's so annoying because he made such a good video but did so many little mistakes that just add up to me, and I kind of lose, you know, not necessarily faith in him, but I think he loses a lot of credibility, you know. Does not disclose that someone paid for his trip, does not disclose the fact that, hey, I'm not actually talking about MrBeast all that much, and actually at the end of the video I'm gonna send you to someone else. Come on, just... I get it. You're kind of scared. Maybe that's my theory, my thesis that I'm trying to propose right now, that he's kind of scared because he is defending MrBeast, but does not want to do so, but, you know, he wants to bring the proof, the truth to light, you know, to show that, hey, he is guilty of some things, but we cannot allow fake things like this to pass, okay? That's just not good investigative work, let's call it. I don't know. I made that word up. Hopefully it is a word. And to see so many things, and then to see the fact that he basically accuses Dawson of not being able to just Google something, but then you showcase more Pegasus and say he's not bringing anything to the table, but you haven't even watched one video like for 5 minutes to realize, oh, this is not good. He's actually bringing something to the table, you know. He's not just doing a blatant cash grab. Again, you lose credibility. The Jake Weddle thing, come on. If you want to take something out of context, I apologize, English is not working, as always, for me. If you want to take things out of context, you will do it either way, okay? If you got that malicious intent, I can tell you 1,000 times to not do so. I can disclaim it 1,000 times that, hey, this, what I'm about to show you is a work of art, fiction, it's not real, and people would still believe it because, again, if the malicious intent is there, does not matter what you say, they will do it. And I think this ruins the whole vibe for the video, at least for me. It's still a good video, but And let's not talk about the fact that Jimmy actually, you know, sent his video to a lot of YouTubers, which again makes him lose a lot of credibility, and it's not his fault, you know. But it's slimy from Jimmy to see that, you know. It's so annoying. I'm sure I would be annoyed to see him actually do that. And one other thing that is kind of annoying is the MrBeast and Caleb interview. And again, I want to talk about this briefly. I don't blame him for how the interview went, because think about it. In the heat of the moment, if you were there, if you decide to go with the interrogation style, you know, good cop, bad cop, to try and squeeze all of the answers out of him, he'll just close up or give you, I don't know, the company card. Oh no, it was not me, it was that guy. And he might not even want to talk all that much. So what can you do? Well, you kind of do the things that Caleb did. Try and keep it friendly. Talk about stuff, but don't bring it so hard on him. You know, don't bring it down so aggressively. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and each of us responds different to criticism, to being asked certain questions that might be politically charged, that are sensitive, you know. At the end of the day, he is, in my opinion, no longer a YouTuber. He is the owner of a big YouTube channel and a big company. He no longer is able to talk so openly about mistakes, stuff like that. But yeah, the interview was a bit disappointing, but I don't think the criticism that Caleb received, and is still receiving as a matter of fact, is all that warranted, you know. Just put yourself in his shoes. Unprepared, on short notice, what do? Are you trying to be the bad cop, you know, to squeeze all of the answers out of him? No, that's not gonna work. So yeah, that's basically the MrBeast drama. He still has not taken accountability of a lot of stuff. And did I mention the crypto stuff? No, I don't think so. But the crypto stuff, to be honest, I think he's 100% guilty. Allegedly, in my opinion. Again, using a lot of words to try and not be sued. Because we all seen the podcast video with Logan Paul and Mike Mojakalak, the #1 Logan Paul Glizzy Glazer, where actually he does a good thing, you know. He actually asks them both, hey, don't you think you kind of took part in a pump and dump? Which that was an alpha move from Mike Mojakalak. and it was so unexpected. But basically in that podcast he said, oh, I bought a bunch of crypto, showcases the fact that, you know, he knows how to buy crypto because crypto and NFTs, what I was trying to say, because when it comes to NFTs, he bought an NFT with a certain trait, you know, with the smokes, I don't know what they were, the things were smoking in the images. Let me say one thing, NFTs are stupid. And at one point he says, oh, I bought some of this, and then, oh, we bought some of that. And now I don't know what to think. I'm pretty sure he has a fund that's, you know, handling everything, but him saying, no, it's them and only them, and actually I don't even know how to buy crypto, I don't even know how to buy NFTs. Jimmy, you said quite a lot of time that you are very interested in the YouTube algorithm, and you really try to, I guess, unlock its secrets, you know, to get as many views as you can. You're clearly an intelligent individual, and for you to hide behind the, oh, I wouldn't even know how to buy crypto, I don't buy it, not one bit. So yeah, that was the crypto stuff. I think I mentioned about everything. I'm not really going that deep into it because there's a lot of videos that are good, but unlike Soggy, I want to give my opinion on it, right? I want to give you my juicy, trashy opinion for you to discard in an instant. Yeah. But yeah, the drama goes quite a long way back, you know. It's annoying because, mainly because of Dawson, to be honest, because he made so many fake allegations that at this point, what is true, what isn't, you know. Soggy made a very good video but loses credibility in my opinion because he made so many little mistakes that could have been avoided. Mutahar, again, he actually annoyed me very much because I actually believed him that, you know, he actually did debunk both individuals equally, you know. I mean, again, Soggy claimed, Mutahar claimed that, oh, he grilled both parties, you know, the same amount, you know, he was not biased. But to me, his video kind of screams, hey, I'm kind of biased towards this guy, you know. I do not want to commit financial suicide to end my YouTube career because I'm defending MrBeast, even though, come on, man, defend him, because you're not actually defending him. Let's be honest right now. You are just debunking fake allegations so that the true allegations get way more attention, right? And in the process you, I guess, destroy a loser, who is Dawson. And he's a loser. So yeah, that's why it's kind of annoying. The interview was, again, okay, but come on, if you think you can do better, you're either lying to yourself or maybe you actually can do it. But I'm pretty sure MrBeast went to Caleb because he did interview Dawson, and even when he interviewed Dawson, he was not aggressive about it, you know. Again, with an interview you need to decide carefully how you're gonna approach it. English failing again, I apologize. If you're being too aggressive, you're not gonna get anywhere. If you're being too soft, I don't think he was that soft, but the only thing I would criticize him for, he forgot about a lot of stuff. That's the only thing that I didn't like. But this is the end of the video. I don't think there is anything else to come out, in my opinion. I'm sure there's some little things that maybe we did not see, have not come out yet, you know, did not surface yet, but, you know, the juicy drama kind of is at an end, you know. MrBeast either takes accountability, either he doesn't, you know. Either way, there is no winner here, only losers. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion. Did you agree with me? Did you not? Comment down below and tell me, am I dumb for thinking like this? Well, I hope not. Goodbye.